Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you're in the world. Tonight is another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards, Vampire Edition, where Raven is seeking out the wisdom of the ancients. And she's starting out with probably the most ancient of them all, Liliana, because nobody really knows how old she is. You'd probably find her in a glade some distance from the actual grove itself, walking around and touching the trees like she usually does. She's wearing her usual woodsy hippie attire with different types of paint covering her exposed skin.
Okay, so Raven would firstly, just to kind of expedite the process. Let's say David, Adriana, and Raven are already together, as they are about to approach. Is this the Gangle Grove or is this Liliana's Grove?
This as far as you know, Liliana has staked no other claim in the city, but this does not seem to be a place that you've ever seen her in before.
Okay. What she'll do is she will send Cassandra, the Raven Ghoul,
Okay.
pretty much over to deliver a message to Liliana asking if her entrance, David's entrance, and asking for all three of their entrances, so that way they can speak to her regarding something.
The Raven will be accompanied back by a dove.
Okay.
Which is weird because the dove is awake at night. Because doves are typically not diurnal, not nocturnal. And Cassandra will send back, we are permitted, this is our guide.
She'll nod.
All right.
Around, and again in that iconic British accent that I have to bring up every scene that she's in because I refuse to replicate the accent. She'll say, "Come on."
Okay. The dove will take flight and head back into the grove. Not grove, glade, I mean. It's kind of peaceful place. It's not too far from the Verbena glade if you guys have ever been there before. Upon entering the center of the glade, the dove will land and transform into Liliana.
Neat.
For a grand stroke, I gotta say.
You'll notice that she's now back in her human form, wearing what I described earlier. You notice that there's a sigil on her temple. Not her temple, middle of her forehead, right over the crown chakra.
Okay.
Does anybody have a cult?
I've got like one dot. I can give that shit a roll.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I have a cult.
So do I.
It's like my highest knowledge on this fucking sheet.
Who's learning to play?
Okay.
Come on.
Give that shit a roll. Bam.
Hey, this book learning to play?
Yes, it does.
I've rolled now.
Oh, okay.
Does demonology apply?
Does what?
Demonology?
No.
4 successes.
Okay, so the two of you will realize that that is an ancient symbol for the sun.
I gotta roll for David.
Okay.
3 successes.
You recognize it too. It's an ancient symbol for the sun.
David starts, my god is the sun by Queens of the Stone Age.
Any indication as to the civilization?
Celt.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Like old Celt, like, Druidic days. She will look at the people gathered and look to Raven and say, You have words with me?
Yes, there were some things I wanted to ask you about because, quite frankly, I don't think very many of us have asked. We've gotten some stories about Zalish from yourself, but I was hoping we can know and understand him a little bit more. And you seemed very close to him.
Zalish was a blood brother, like Liam, like Bartholomew. It is one that we had often thought should have been one of the ones to go away instead of the others. To understand Zalish, you must understand what it means to be Zemis. Do you understand what it means to be Zemis?
To be honest, I apparently know what the Zemis are.
She will take a seat on the ground and motion for everybody to join her.
Oh wait, Brett, can I roll Sabat lore at a higher difficulty?
Yes, you can.
Sweet.
Okay, like Raven has Sabat lore, but I figured she wouldn't know that much about the clan.
You can roll
Oh,
it at a
I'm
higher
fine.
difficulty.
Fuck it. Let's see. There's an 8. I assume that's one success.
Yeah, there's success. 8 would be the level.
Yeah, Raven knows a little bit. She knows the Zemisi clan disciplines.
You know that they are extraordinary. They are one of the more brutal members of the Sabbat, known for their inhumane ways and for their flesh crafting discipline.
Neat.
Does everybody sit down, or
Raven sat down.
Yeah, David will do.
all right, once everybody sits down, she'll say, "To hear Zalish describe his people is to understand pride in yourself. Significant pride in not only what you are, but your blood and what it's capable of. The Zemis are noble lords amongst their people. They were the protectors and warlords of their realm before the Ventru could even think to do such things on their own. It's not an uncommon thing to know that the High Clans all considered themselves to be the most noble. There were many wars in regards to this. Over time, the belief in themselves became a belief that they were beyond even vampires, that they were the next step, the next evolution, the next form that a vampire was supposed to take. Zalish was born of a noble family in Moldavia, brought himself great prestige and honor by joining the Cavaliers in the Order of the Rose and Cross. Performed many campaigns as a human as well as a vampire until the Moldavian Zemise made him one of theirs. It was the belief that the flesh-crafting abilities of the Zemis would lead to them being warped in the mind, but it was not something that ever touched Zalish. Not until the rebellion. When the revolt happened, there were members of our people on both sides of the equation. You had those of us that believed that hiding in the shadows and keeping the Inquisition off our back was not just meritorious, but worthy enough to force us to join with the Tremere. And then you had others who believed that there was no reason that elders should hold sway over us and that we should forge our own paths. And those became the Anarchs and then later the Sabbat. I lost touch with him after the revolt. After my betrothed was murdered in Thorns. For one who is as old as I am, finding one who fits you so perfectly, your equal, is a rare and beautiful thing. To lose them is a pain beyond measure. After that, I chose to go underground, and I did not interact with any other vampires until recently. The resurgence of our leader, well, the disappearance of our leader to begin with, was one of great cause. When Bartholomew put out the word that he had been found, I chose to reemerge. Unfortunately, so did Sleesh. Does that answer your question, young ones?
I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. From what I understand, Salish has killed a lot of people already. Not just humans, but other things. Things that, well, if all their... I'm sorry for the odd language, but if all of their dick waving is true, able to kill us by looking at us.
I remember the child, the spirit that became the metal demon in our grove. Is that the one you're referring to?
Her eye twitches when she remembers the fact that they rolled up into her goddamn grove. And she just says, yes, it was him.
Wait,
If he could kill... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
there was a goddamn metal demon or some shit in our fucking grove.
Yeah, I was super pissed about it.
Fuck. Fuck, let that get in our grove.
It appeared to be human until Zalish appeared, and then it decided to become a metal reaper demon of some kind, and you do not provoke a creature like Zalish.
What the fuck was Zalish doing in our grove?
Zalish came to find me.
Oh,
He found out I was alive again, and there are certain talents he has that allows him to locate someone of my nature.
well, okay, that's alright.
We've already moved the grove. It's okay now.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not. I'm still incredibly pissed about it. But
Well, yeah.
Liliana will reach over and pat you on the shoulder in a very comforting manner. Because that's how she do.
that's fair. I imagine Liliana's also a little salty.
Yes, she is. 'Cause-
Ineffectually angry neonates are ineffectually angry.
I will say this. You can think that her being a gangrel means that she can be territorial, but if you guys know out of character her real bloodline and how much they are very territorial about nature.
Oh, yeah, no, she's salty AF.
Yeah.
Oh, no way, she has purple heart. Oh, she hella mad.
Oh God, yes.
Oh, bro. I'm pretty sure I technically should be riding the wave right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, since this is just something you've heard about, I'd imagine that the diff is stupidly low, which is probably, I assume your instinct is higher, so you're okay, I think.
Yeah. If you had been there, you would be riding the wave.
More motherfuckers would have died.
No, actually, it probably would have been Snarl and Wisdom 5 and Wisdom 3. Aw, don't worry. Let's just kill them together. Okay.
And that's how Tim had to make a new mage.
That's how a bunch of people would have to make new characters.
Mass reroll, guys, it's fine.
I'm sorry, I had 73 rollover, guys.
Anyway, pull it back in.
All right. Raven will start to explain. I'm wondering if, well, fighting him is. It's only ended poorly. A thought in my mind is that there's a way to non-violently stop him. I'm not sure if that's possible or not, but it was a thought that I had.
Zalish being in this city is not the biggest concern that we as Kindred have. Not anymore. However, Zalish's presence in the city is deleterious. He feeds without regard for the lives, because think about how we regard human life. In that we consider them our food, but also our protectors, our protectorate. We are responsible for maintaining the herd. Think if you had absolutely no respect or understanding of emotion. Think of humans as insects that are your food but nothing else, and you do not care what happens to them. That is what the Zemise do. Not only that, but Zalish has started developing one of their less savory habits of turning them into furniture and wall decorations. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
It is not an easy prospect to get a Zemise to move their home once they have entrenched themselves in it. Having him leave through diplomatic means may not be possible.
Having
No.
him leave forces could be just as difficult.
That would be correct, yes. I will say one thing, though. I have watched my brothers and a couple of my sisters duel in honest combat. There was one that Zalish could not beat.
I'm assuming that's our prince. Maybe Bartholomew.
It would actually be Bartholomew. However, our good brother no longer fights. It will be up to Liam and our brother's faith as to whether or not they can hold him at bay. However,
Adriana will hold up a hand, sort of wait for permission to speak since she knows this isn't anywhere near her territory.
Liliana will look over at Adriana and say, "Speak, child of Tremere."
What about a coterie to help back up Liam?
That you'll need to speak to your War Master about. I believe Marcus is trying to determine a fighting group that can back up the prince. I will say this much. If Liam draws the sword on his back, it will prove interesting.
How? What's it do?
I do not reveal our prince's secrets easily, especially not one who's a sworn blood brother. You'll have to see for yourself.
Is that a weird sword? Maybe there's some parts of the king about.
It is a very, 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 very old sword.
Raven nods.
What'd you say?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just said Raven nods.
Okay. Wasn't sure.
She will go on to ask. All right. Then you mentioned that Zalish is no longer the big threat in the city. Are you referring to the diseased corpses?
Yes. It is something I've seen in my past. It is something your prince has seen in the past as well.
As Raven flashes back to Liam's rather big display of frustration.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then what is doing that?
Something that, according to history, should no longer exist.
According to history, a lot of this shouldn't exist.
I'm referring to Cainite history, my dear.
Raven perks up when she hears Cainite history. Because this must be some old shit.
This is history that, while does not predate both sects, is spread across all vampiric knowledge. And until I have more information, I would prefer it to stay that way. I will say this much. The Giovanni are not the original Clan of Death.
Right. I remember hearing about that from a clanmate at a campfire a couple of years ago. The Cappadocians? I believe Marcus had also mentioned them.
Yes. The Cappadocians, the original practitioners of necromancy, the original diviners of the death path, they were the ones who could reach out and touch someone and send them into torpor that could not be awoken from. I've seen it happen. The former prince of Strasbourg that both Liam and I served under, Shade Falstar, he was of Cappadocian blood. The Cappadocians, kind of like the Tremere, had a group of vampires that were bred to protect them. While they did not use the same, looking at Adriana, methods.
I don't even need to roll E&E for that shade.
Pretty much. These vampires were the childer of one of Cappadocius's blood. They were known as the Lamia. The Lamia, while looking human, whereas the Cappadocians were inordinately pale, had a unfortunate condition. They were all embraced as a carrier of a pathogen that when fed upon mortals became the bubonic plague. Needless to say, Elamia's blood is what's leaving those corpses behind. The Lamia were instructed by their Cappadocian masters to incinerate all corpses they fed from, regardless of if they drank them to death, for there was no surviving the illness. What would normally take 12 weeks for a person to die from took a matter of hours. In some respect, draining a human to death was considered a kindness among the Lamia. If there is one in the city, it violates the belief that the that not only the bloodline but the parent clan was destroyed. For that blood could not survive on its own for so long without somebody helping it. And the only ones that would help the Lamia are the Cappadocians.
So there's someone backing this Lamia. Then Raven will think.
If
More
this
than likely,
sorry, go ahead.
she'll say, I'm thinking that they would have somebody on the inside somehow. Inside meaning a hospital. Or some kind of friends, mortal friends somewhere. Since, well,
I'll say this much. For a Lamia to be leaving these bodies out in the open means it simply has no care for protecting not only his identity, but the city. If I understand correctly, there's a Baali running around. And she will bite back venom when she says Baali.
do I need to roll to know what a Bali is?
Camlor.
Okay, I've got Camlor too, I believe.
I'm not sure what my plan is because I don't think you're on the
Hey, there's 2 9s. Fuck the Bali.
You know what a Baali is? Well, you know the Cappadocia. You know the Camarilla story on Baali. Soul-sucking demon infernalist bullshits that want to bring about the end of the world.
Ooh, what about vampire lore? Or gangrel lore?
Maybe kindred lore.
Okay. The kindred lore shot, since she knows the gangrel lore. Which, she knows the normal vampire story so much better than the Camarilla spin.
Yep, pretty much. A bloodline or a group of vampires that are dedicated to the infernalistic purpose of bringing about the end of the world.
Still 100% not okay.
Yep.
David don't know nothing about no cam lore ass fucking Bali.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
I will say this much, Adriana, this is something you can actually roll your demonology on.
Oh, not demon lore or demonology?
Your demon lore.
Book
Oh.
learning?
Huh?
Book learning?
Yes, book learning is applicable because that's how you learn this stuff, actually.
I mean, someone could speak it. Someone
Okay.
could immediately get their ass blasted, but
For Adriana, these are these are a group of vampires that have existed for a long time, that have made it their purpose to seek out and bring demons into the world. You'll also know this much. They're not all of the same blood. That's something that needs to be key for you right now. They are not all of the same blood.
Does Raven get the same thing with her successes on the vampire lore check?
No, because it's still infernalistic a-hole vampires that want to raise demons out of the ground and bring about the end of the world.
Okay, awesome.
I rolled cam lore and kindred lore, and both times David has no idea what the fuck a Bali is.
Pretty much, what's a Bali?
He's just sitting here like, I think I should be angry that these are in the city. I'm gonna look.
What? No, man, I feel like, can David please just call them barley?
Alright, so we got some goddamn barley in the city. What the fuck is a barley? I understand there's some kind of bad news, but I'm not quite getting the inherent danger, and it doesn't sound like anything I can't just punch to death.
Yes,
No. No, it's not just something you can punch to death.
I don't know, have you seen me punch? I throw literal Superman punches.
Let me explain.
Roman Reigns style.
Let me explain the thing. We should totally go Undertaker. Like, okay, that's not the point. But
Adriana would be a fucking Undertaker model.
Okay. You know what? She's gonna explain the Camarilla version of her, the whatever successor she got on the Camarilla role. That's what she's gonna tell.
So the demon worshippers.
Fuckboy demon worshipping vampires.
Alright. So, still not seeing the part where I can't just punch him.
If we had one of Samuel's brood, it would be a lot easier. I'll say that much.
I guess that's fair. That doesn't mean it's impossible.
Oh, time changes tonight.
Yeah, that's...
Yep.
Don't forget, guys, you get an extra hour of sleep. Woo!
Anyway, pull it back in.
Yep. All right. So they was talking about Superman punches and Barley and shit, and Bali.
Liliana's just gonna look at you like, the fuck?
I think every other game player is wondering, why is David our fucking Primogen again? We allowed this? Oh yeah, the other, like, the old Primogen.
That's about just like, that's it, I'm out. Fuck it.
It's okay. The whip's the party face.
Yep.
Raven will ask. So we've got a Lamia and a Bali.
Apparently so.
Do we know what's up with this Bali?
You would probably do well to ask the one hunting it.
Raven's eye twitches. She doesn't like talking to Tobias at all.
Yeah, but Adriana's face follows well. We should talk to the sheriff first and we can get all friendly.
Yeah, Sheriff. He's also one of them.
Alistair's.
That's the word.
If there is a Bailey in the city, and it is on the red list, the Alistairs know about it and are hunting it.
Would they know about the Lamia as well?
There's a possibility.
Hmm.
I will say this much. Liam knows about it.
How do you react to it?
You remember the cat in the tree?
Oh.
Raven flashes back.
Or the second alligator in the sewers?
Okay. Perception. 3. Alertness. 1.
Wait, what'd you trying to do? You trying to do orb perception or something?
No. She's just looking around the trees, seeing if anyone particular has a cat or is particularly fucked up.
No, you do see a dog peeing on a tree nearby. That's about it.
Wait, is it Owen or is it just a random dog?
It's a random dog. It appears to be at home in the grove, though.
Raven will probably ask Liliana if Raven can start hanging out with the dog, bring him in on this a little bit.
Liliana will nod.
All right, Raven is now chilling with one of the dogs. Owen's gonna be super pissed later when smells another dog on her.
The kitten doesn't like the smell of dogs. It's a puppy.
So, Liliana's going to look to them. Does that answer all your questions?
I think so.
All the ones you were willing to answer. There's a
There are things in heaven and earth that are beyond your ken, Horatio.
My name's David, actually. David Morris. Gangrel Parmesan of Hong Kong.
Liliana is going to look over at Raven with a raised eyebrow.
Does Liliana want to do a perception empathy on David?
Yes, she will, actually.
Adriana's just kind of rubbing her forehead. Yeah, Raven's the lip. If that's what you're wondering.
3 successes.
Liliana's the first one in the city to get this. David is a shithead on purpose because he thinks it's funny.
Okay. Liliana's going to look back at you and just say, how droll.
Alright.
Well, if there's nothing else, I should return to tending my grove.
Okay, you know what? Once we get outside this grove, Adriana has a few messages to send. Gonna be
Yes.
a numbered list. 1, Bali. 2, Lamia. And what was the third thing? What was the third thing they talked about? I cannot remember for the life of me that she was gonna ask.
Cappadocians?
Cappadocians, that's what she's gonna send to Serena in text message form.
Serena's going to send back... Actually, you're going to get a text message from a different number.
Yeah.
Man, it's good. Like, it's a good thing she has like resources 25 or something.
Yeah, it is. She's the only Tremere with Paragon, and it's in resources. I'm joking about that, but yeah, she's got resources 5. You're going to get text back about 10 minutes later from the app 7 of the Tokyo Chantry. What did you say to the Lord?
She'll send that message to him. It is believed that there might be one of each in the city.
Did anybody try contacting Karamazov? Is he on his way back?
I believe the Lord was supposed to contact.
Did she know? I'm guessing she didn't know about the Baali in the city, which would explain why she's tearing apart the Regent's office. Again.
Okay, Adriana's throwing willpower to not make faces.
Alright. You'll get another text. As for these,
So much P&E.
as for the other 2 things, I have no clue what they are. A Lamia, as far as I know, is a mythological snake lady, and a Cappadocian is just somebody who's from Cappadocia.
Well, I'm gonna go talk to the Alistair to see if they're hunting these things.
Talking
If that's-
directly to an Alistair. Not something I've ever recommended an apprentice ever do in their entire life. Have fun with that.
I really hope this guy's just sending like asterisk sarcasm, then like everything he's saying asterisk sarcasm.
Like, I'm sorry, what did he say? I didn't catch it.
He
Seven
said,
life more.
he basically said, talking to an Alistair, not something I'd ever recommend an apprentice ever do, ever. Good luck with that.
Alright. I'm teaching the sheriff to be friendly. He's getting the hang of high fives. Next step is fist bumps.
Not what I meant. Text back.
I know.
I have to go order my regent a new office. Have a good night.
Sorry.
That was glorious. I need to see this A7 mode, right?
I've never made the sheet, but it's an A7 that's had to deal with a pompous preening House Validus regent for the past 20 years.
God damn, this back for A7.
Yes, exactly.
A7, man.
He's like, why have I not been promoted yet? Why is my region such a bitch?
So you know who I'm gonna text next? That list. It is Mucha.
See, so it was first.
Bali, Lamia, Cappadocia.
The response to the first one is already know. Second one, not sure. Third one, also not sure.
Because that's still a bit before his time, isn't it?
Yeah, he was born in like the 1600s
Yeah.
and fucking revenant ass motherfucker.
I think
Yeah,
I think-
Basara.
was the purge over by that point, or was it just about over?
Well, the purge was over by then, because the purge happened in the late 1500s.
So
It's a stupid fucking character I made when I had no idea on vampire lore.
No, that's real, bro. Plug it.
um are any of these are any of these clans have somebody on the red list?
The Bali does.
Is that why your friend is here?
Mhm.
He's gonna send you a stick out tongue emoji.
Wait a minute. Raven's got an idea to find out who the fuck this person is. Like, who the fuck the Lamia is.
Can I get a name?
No, not the Lamia. Not the Lamia, the Bali. Not the Bali, that's right. Since there's a Alistair in the city, and that implies that the Bali's on the red list, Raven's just going to look at the red list. And
Is that a public thing? I guess that makes sense. That would be.
I can't imagine why it wouldn't be.
It is somewhat of a public thing, I'll say that much.
And if there's anyone that knows about the red list, it's probably going to be the Harpy.
Or the sheriff.
Which Adriana is texting and asking about now.
Let's not even. Okay, look. Murcha is very. He's not what I would consider a typical Camarilla member.
Yeah, that's fair. He literally became one because lol. You killed a red list without intending to. Now you're an Alistair.
Yeah, like.
Kill you.
So, yes, we'll probably hit up if Michelle LaBelle, that's her name, right? The Harpy?
Yes.
If Michelle LaBelle is up in Elysium, because that's where Raven would go and look for the Harpy, because Harpies love Elysiums.
They look like a fat kidless cake. So,
Yep.
yeah, she's there. Walking about looking self-important as always.
Raven's going to turn on all of her British charm right now. And she will start to come on up to Michelle and say, Miss LaBelle, it's good to see you tonight.
Pleasure as always. And what can I do for you tonight?
Well, I had a couple of quick questions for you. And she'll kind of stop right quick, look at Michelle, and then say, oh my gosh, I love your outfit.
Really? It's so off the rack I hardly noticed, but I'm glad that it does me justice.
It definitely brings out a lot of your more positive qualities.
I like her. Just in the background, like this is why I wanted her whip.
Well, I must say your outfit is dreadfully appropriate for the evening. Have you been in the dirt?
Oh. I thought I'd brush myself off all the way, but I happen to enjoy to sit down and enjoy the surroundings of nature, I suppose. Very naturalistic, I guess. New agey. Wanted to get into that.
I can understand that.
But I was wondering if I could talk to someone in the city that had far more connections and far more knowledge of these things than I did. And to be honest, you were one of the first people I thought of.
Well, it is quite an honor to be at the top of that list. Yes, I am quite connected, I guess you could say.
I have no idea what's on this thing that I'm looking for, but I was wondering if there was any way for you to access the particular people on the red list.
Such a disgraceful, despicable list of names, but it is one I can call upon as needed. You're trying to find out something in particular.
Simply the names that I need to recognize and stay away from.
Oh, there's quite a lot of them, my dear. Quite a lot indeed.
Yeah, I made a whole list of them.
Yeah.
Is
Is there a flavor that you think may be involved in this city?
Adriana will kind of wait.
She'll kind of look over towards Adriana, a little bemused.
Bali, Lamia, Cappadocia.
The second two I've never heard of. Blood probably outed a long time ago, best left to the past. Baali, my dear, the majority of the list comprised of Baali. They are more populous on the list than the Zemise. She'll look over. Is Mircha in there tonight?
Yeah.
What I want
His focus would immediately, like... Wait, what?
What I want to know is there
Sheriff, could you please come over here?
He'll fucking Dracula walk his way over there.
Adriana will hold her to look for how bad as he walks fast.
And he just continues walking.
She really does it with this bump.
Michelle will look over at Raven and say, I'm sorry, you needed to say something.
no, this was Tim out of character saying something.
Oh.
So, Adriana said the word Cappadocian in Elysium. Is Johnny in Elysium right now?
Johnny? No. Johnny's not. He usually doesn't chill out of Elysium because he doesn't feel comfortable being surrounded by a bunch of Camarilla members.
Yeah.
They have a tendency to accuse him of breaking the promise.
That's fair.
Hey,
Okay.
to be fair, that wasn't... who was that did that?
I wasn't referring to anything in character. This
Oh,
is just
I thought
background.
somebody actually did that in this game. I can't remember who, though.
No, early in the game, Johnny met with Julian and basically said, "Hey, I completely agree that we need to get fucking Mildred off, like not being our speaker, but I can't say shit because I'm a fucking Giovanni, and the entire rest of the domain is fucking Camarilla members."
Yeah, that's true. I remember that. And Julian was all, yeah, the promise has to be upheld.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to work with the Venture to get Mildred gone.
Yep.
Well, Sombra and Venture working together should never happen.
Isn't the weirdest fucking...
I don't care what your path was. Lose a dot in it.
Honorable Accord, and I already lost the .NET thanks to Mildred, so... Yeah.
Mhm.
You want to join a coterie?
He'll just shake his head.
Then
Sheriff, our neonates were interested in finding out about Baali members of the Red List. I told them there was quite a lot of them.
Is this related to the messages you were sending me earlier, Miss Ramirez?
yes,
Out of character, I can't remember the one that's sitting right in me.
Baali, Cappadocia, and Lamia were the ones you got sent.
Yeah, but I don't remember the Bali's name that is in the city that he was told.
Oh, Mordecai.
Look, the guy, that's right.
Yeah.
He'll just say,
Michelle will raise an eyebrow at that. You mean number 25 is in the city?
supposedly, it is
Hmm.
something to be guarded against.
Well, that's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. It's a shame I can't, tell anybody. Secrecy
Indeed.
of the secrecy and all of that.
Yeah, Mircha just looks at her with a small smile. Indeed.
You don't have to take so much pleasure in it, dear sheriff.
Oh, this was meant to be a warning smile, not a butt-for smile. My apologies. I must work on my smile this way.
It's all on the eyes, and the eyebrows.
You'll see him just try like various smiles, but his eyes and eyebrows will not move.
Oh wait, does he have the unblinking flaw?
No.
No, he's trying to approximate emotion. It doesn't work very well.
Practice in the mirror.
Well, it seems you have your answer. Mordecai of the Baali, number 25. Not much is known about him. He just shows up in places, and death and disease lay in his wake. Does that answer your questions?
As much as we're gonna get.
Yes. Good.
Oh. Out of character, what number is her friend's little buddy?
6.
And yes, the higher you up, the worse you are. Or, you know what I mean.
I will say, though, the only reason why he is on that list is because of the Tremere. So,
And Adriana just so 25. That sounds pretty bad. And how many people are on there?
Yeah, crap.
I think the last number of the list was 60.
Mircha will just say 60.
Oh, so I'm assuming.
And
smaller
yes,
than-
my dear, they are ranked. By the way, Sasha Vikos is number 8. Pray you never meet her. Him.
Here,
It.
and the girls.
Yes. That person. Anything else I can help you out with, dearies?
David's gonna roll his Sabat one to see if he knows who that chick is, or that person is.
Do we even need to roll about who Sasha Vikos is?
Yes, you do, but it's a difficulty 4. So
All right,
you really can't botch it.
you'd be surprised.
That's gonna go.
What about Kendrick Lord?
Kindred lore? No, not really. Unless Kindred lore would actually be difficulty 8.
All right, I got 2 successes. I assume I know a little bit about Sasha Vikos.
Yeah, you know, stay the fuck away from her. Hit him, hit.
What about my overconfident flaw, right?
You will know that Vico also went by another name during the Nazi occupation. What was it? Mendeleev?
Well, there's success.
Mangala.
Oh,
That was the name that Vicos went by during the occupation.
you know what? Out of character, I'm calling bullshit on that. I don't think that's
also
what
calling bullshit on that.
I can't remember. I know that he worked with I know that it worked with Mangala. I'm not sure if it was Mangala.
I don't.
But if
I
you
don't-
look in, I think it's in the Sabat book, there's actually, when it mentions Vicos, there's talk of having worked in Nazi-occupied Germany.
No, see, the reason I'm calling bullshit on that is because that's like the one period of history that White Wolf didn't fuck with a huge amount.
Yeah, that's true.
They didn't touch it as much, specifically to prevent lessening the impact of an IRL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like even Mage was kind of like, and then World War II happened in the end.
I know that according to the books, Vikos was there. I just don't. And I thought she worked with Mengele. It worked with Mengele.
I mean,
Anyway,
with Mengele,
yeah, with Mengele.
But yeah, and like the whole time they've been talking, Raven continues to kind of look at Michelle's outfit, just kind of like continuing to give it that eye and whatnot, swinging that neck for the Toreador.
Mhm.
Where she finally says, "I very much appreciate you giving me this info, Miss Lavelle, and please, at some point, I should probably call you. I could probably get some lessons from you, your sense of style."
Of course, I'd be more than happy to give you fashion tips. One must always dress to impress, after all.
What? Then Raven, kind of inclines her head, does a somewhat over-exaggerated bow. Because theatrics and whatnot. Everyone knows Raven's kind of up for that shit sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
When it suits her. And, yeah.
All right. Are you still going to try to talk to Liam?
Um, if Raven talks to Liam, that may be just a her thing.
Okay.
It's gonna happen at some point, I'm sure.
This fucking T-Rex rolls up. Heard you talking shit.
Motherfucker.
You need to start rolling fate dice and the beginning first.
Every scene, all fake dice. Fake dice. If you come up all negatives, T-Rex is coming for that ass. That scene, no matter what's happening.
Heard you
In
talking
the,
shit.
from the technocracy, just be like, by the way, David, Soak ate Bash and she punched him back in the head while you were fighting a hit mark.
T-Rex is like, what up, bitch? All right.
Now it's time to go and find Liam.
Okay.
Raven will. Okay, if he's not at the Elysium, does Liam have a seat as Prince yet?
A what?
Like a seat, like some place, like an office, essentially.
Yeah, he does.
That'll probably be the first place she goes and looks for him.
All right. Let's check and see. Yes, he's in the office.
Okay.
You notice that he has his armor on its stand, complete with the Panzer hand gauntlet and his sword and shield.
Yeah, so, wait, I just realized there's literally no reason for not doing David and Adriana. Yeah, so
What?
No, I'm just saying that she's bringing the squad with her.
Okay.
Mostly because it's kind of shitty to just kind of be like, nah, there's going to be Oculus Holder. So...
You'll notice that there's a guard in there polishing his armor. And it's the same Elysium guard that wears the livery sash.
Okay.
Is it the museum?
What?
Is it this poor guy that showed up at the museum?
Yes, it is. Basically, if you know anything about medieval heraldry, the guy has been made Liam's squire.
No, this is just Raven going to talk to him, right?
Unless we followed him. Or her. Sorry. I'm so used to talking about Logan.
Even then, it's iffy as to what you're actually talking about. But
I mean, we could just say Logan's there and, like, Logan and Liam had an interesting night out last night. Like...
that would not be a happening. I'll say that much. So, are you taking the troop with you, or are you going by yourself?
she'll be taking the troop because why not?
Okay. Yep. Liam's in there. He's got that long sword of his in his hand, and he's kind of just looking at it. And you see the squire polishing the armor.
Raven will, as a she approaches, she'll kind of just knock on the wall.
All right.
Not
The squire will look up and say, "Greetings. I am to announce you to our illustrious Prince Sir Liam. May I have your names?" At which point you hear Liam say, "I can see them. They're right there. You can go ahead and let them in now." Of course, Sir Prince. And he'll move so that you guys...
Liam.
What?
Raven smiles and waves to Liam.
David's just gonna turn to the squire guy and be like, "I can appreciate your attempt to stick to the natural order of things," and I just kind of pat him on the shoulder as he's walking past him.
Adriana doesn't say or touch him. She just looks at him sympathetically.
At which point Liam will say, "My armor looks fine, lad. You can go ahead and go home now. Take a break. Work on your swordsmanship. Your arm's a little weak, you know." "Yes, Sir Prince," and he will then turn and walk out and close the door behind him. Liam will set the sword down on the desk. What can I do for you?"
Learning some interesting things today.
"Oh, have a seat. Let's talk about it."
I think I made my mentor break a room because I was asking things and she got slightly upset.
"Well, you best be careful of people with tempers now, shouldn't you?"
So, about Cappadocians, Bali, and Lamia,
David's just gonna like, as soon as he says that, he's just like staring right at the wall.
Raven's gonna spend a blood point to increase her stamina.
So, on saying that, how many willpower do you think I need to spend? 1,
Yes.
2, 5.
I mean, is he trying to avoid a frenzy?
Yes, he is.
I mean, okay, he's on road to heaven, so he still has self-control, so that's good.
I'm also saying about the fact that this is a Tremere spouting this shit off to someone who was personally, and you know this, by the way, someone who was personally captured by the Tremere and almost transformed into a thing.
Oh,
Adriana knows this too. She just doesn't let on to anybody else that she knows this.
Yeah.
It's probably a good idea.
like yeah, no.
So she
Survivor
pretends
Major
she
Raven
doesn't know it.
scoot her chair away ever so slightly away from Adriana in case that frenzy happens. Raven don't want no part of that.
So what do you think? Do I have to spend half my willpower? I think I have to spend half my willpower.
I mean, like, okay, how many flaws get triggered by this? A frenzy check got triggered. Does he have any derangements as a direct result of this?
No, and I don't have any flaws either. All of my merits I bought with 3D points when I made the character because I didn't know about derangements and flaws.
Okay, so I'm personally okay with just spending the willpower to avoid the frenzy, just one.
Okay.
However, Liam can respond to these words any way you wish.
Liam will stand up. You swear everything around him is bristling. His hair, you would swear, is standing on end. He has his sword in his hand. He looks at you, all of you, and says, "Get out now."
David's just gonna like pick up both Raven and Adriana under his arm and say, "All right, ladies, we got to get the fuck out of here." And he will just like turn to the prince, "Have a good night. We'll make sure not to piss you off anymore." And he will fucking get the fuck out of there.
By the way, who here has melee?
I don't think I have melee at all.
Nope.
Damn. Because
Kim has melee. The Tremere has melee.
all right, you know melee. Where Liam's thumb is on that sword is at the point where he can pop that sword out in a flash.
For the record, David has like strength 7 effectively right now, so I think it's safe to say he can pick both of them up one under
Yes.
each.
Yeah,
Yes,
like
easily.
Raven's like fucking like 120 pounds. Like she's like super light and skinny. Like
By the way, roll kindred lore, all of you, as you're on your way out the door.
hey, there's a 10.
Yep.
Book learning? Oh, doesn't
No,
matter.
book learning would not be applicable.
And now for David's. I really need to up David's intelligence. Hey!
All right.
So,
As you guys are running out the door, and the door slams from the sound of something heavy hitting it, you understand that the only reason why you three are alive right now is because of it being Elysium.
Alright, I'm gonna make a new roll. I know I'm not your Primogen or over you or any other way. Next time, don't just like spout out names of long lost people or something, or things that are fucking evil shit.
Yeah, that probably wasn't the best.
I'll probably just let you talk now.
Yeah, that'll work.
Or maybe you should let me talk from now on, because that's why I'm here, guys.
All right.
That's
are
true.
you guys still outside the prince's office?
No, they're
Yeah. No, David would have stopped right there to tell them this. Real
Okay.
quick.
You hear shattering glass, like a window
And
just
then he
broke.
would have gotten the fuck out.
wait, like, did someone jump out of a window?
That's what it sounds like.
I'm gonna be staying
When they get outside, Raven's gonna.
Yeah.
Raven will probably use some of her spies to be like, make sure that the red-haired man with the sword doesn't get in too much trouble. Let me know if he does.
All right. So as you guys are heading downstairs, you see Mask heading upstairs. Oh, pleasant evening. I was just on my way to speak to the prince.
Oh,
Yeah, you're gonna just have to walk right back outside, buddy. I'm sorry.
yeah, he's not in at the moment, Mask. I'm sorry. The prince has very important business to take care of, and
Business he did not see fit to inform me of. I am his seneschal.
it was
Unless he's
very- I'm sorry, Seneschal.
made a change.
It was
Okay.
something very, very sudden. I believe he'll tell you more about it later in the night.
Out of character, I just like to imagine David is still carrying Raven and Adriana while this whole conversation is going on.
And they
Sure.
just can't do that.
I mean, if you guys want to do that, that's fine.
I mean,
Can
I don't
these-
have enough brain brawl to get out of it, so she's kind of going along with this right now.
Can these two kindred not walk on their own?
They got a little scared, so I decided to be the gentleman and get them out of the situation.
The situation involving our dear prince, I assume.
I mean, maybe that's the way you want to take it.
You hear from downstairs, "Who broke the window?"
The prince is what you hear from Adriana.
Maskus runs a hand over the top of his steel mask, where his forehead would be. "I need to go speak to the keeper. Please have a pleasant night and do not cause any more incidents."
Sorry. Hear this from Adriana.
Mask will quickly head downstairs. "No, I want to know who broke the window." I'm in just the sound of somebody trying to shush her, and finally the shouting turns French.
Damn. This went very badly, Raven says. This is why you walk in with things like, oh, yes, I like your outfit. How have you been? You don't just walk in and be like, oh, yeah, yo, what's good?
I mean, you can open like that, depending on the person. But, like,
I don't think I was the right person to do open like that. Maybe you should have opened like that and it would have
no,
been
see,
okay.
that's why I appointed Raven as my whip. She can talk to people.
Yeah.
I'm going to just punch the shit out of anybody that tries to challenge us.
Technically, that means those two positions should be reversed, because the privilege is the one's to face, and the whip is the one that beats the shit out of clanmates that don't fall in line.
Not for Clan Gangrel.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, if you're not the strongest, you're not the fucking Primogen in Clan Gangrel, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so what are you doing now as Mask is trying to defuse the Keeper and keep the Harpy from writing about it and keep the Primogen of Clan Ventru from rushing to the aid of his sister?
Raven will actually kind of just stroll on in. I don't know if you want to actually RP this out. Raven will explain how rowdy some of her clanmates can get sometimes. And she does apologize for the broken window. And she will ensure that she personally will be the one paying for it to make sure that it is replaced with a suitable replacement.
The Keeper will calm down at this. Well, I understand it was the Prince's window, but what I'd like to know is what caused our Prince to jump out of it.
Ain't your business.
Excuse me, Primogen of Clan Gangrel?
Ain't your business.
Is this the Keeper or the Harpy?
This is the Keeper of Elysium.
Keeper. He's fucking that shit.
David's gonna look her in the eye and say, your job is to keep this place secure, right?
And clean up breaches of the masquerade. Do I have to go do that now as well?
You shouldn't. I'd imagine the prince is smart enough to not fucking do that shit.
If he was enraged, it may not be up to him.
I mean, I'm not gonna tell you how to do your job. You do what you need to do. Go investigate. Shoo.
What is, just out of curiosity, because typically the Keeper's backed up by the Sheriff. What is Mircha doing at this point?
1 second.
His ass off, more than likely.
Second. What? What's up?
Oh.
Mircha is just kind of sitting there, trying his best to look disapproving of the whole situation, but he really doesn't like the Keeper or the Harpy, so he's just trying to...
Pointing at her eyebrows and kind of furrowing like that.
If I find out that one of you provoked the Prince into frenzy, I will have boons from you. Oh, yes, I will. At which point she'll walk off.
Swear to God, if I have to owe that bitch a boon because he pissed off the prince, you're gonna owe me a boon.
You're also going to owe me a boon.
Alright, so what are you guys going to do now?
Okay, Raven is going to, as soon as they get out of Elysium grounds, she's going to use her spies, which is at 3 dots, to look for a man, and I quote, this is what Raven is saying, and she's going to make sure that none of the other two aren't hearing her when she says this. A very handsome, attractive, buff man, red hair, and a Scottish accent? He's Scottish, right?
Irish.
Irish, my bad.
Sorry, my Irish/Scottish accent comes out as Dwarvish, so.
That's fine. A very handsome / attractive red-haired Irishman, probably with a great sword.
Actually, it's a two-handed longsword, but go ahead.
Okay, fine, log sword. More than likely shouting in ancient Gaelic. If he does anything vampiric, please let me know.
All right, you'll probably get an answer back in about 20 minutes. Something to the effects of, I saw somebody become a leopard and ran into the zoo.
Make sure he doesn't actually get kidnapped by the zookeepers.
I'm on it.
If anything happens to him, let me know.
All right, anything else?
That depends entirely on whether he almost gets kidnapped by zookeepers or not.
No, he actually doesn't stay in the leopard form for very long.
All right.
Besides, I pity those zookeepers that try to kidnap that
Yeah,
particular
no, they're going to
leopard.
be taking a lot of ag.
Oh dear God, why is it in the face? Oh, Alright, I guess if that's going to be it, we can go ahead and close up. Anybody got anything else they want to do?
I think we're good.
Alright. Thank you, players, for playing. I don't know if we had any watchers, but if we did, thank you for watching. This has been another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards. Have yourself a pleasant night, and please, please, please don't piss off the prince. There's only so many times he can not kill people. Have a good night.
I'm sorry.